This next fight is the one I'm looking forward to the most outside of the main event. I'm a fan of both of these guys. We've got GM3 Gerald Meerschaert versus Bruno Silva. And Bruno Silva, he had a really good fight his last time around against really good competition against Alex Pereira. And he put up, a nice fight in that one. Really, he was fighting mixed martial arts as opposed to Alex Pereira, who was looking to do what he does best and kickbox a little bit. Bruno Silva is intelligent. He was doing a lot of things that surprised Pereira in that one. And Pereira, we've seen, he's a solid fighter. He's a good UFC fighter. Gerald Meerschaert, on the other hand, great grappler. He's not bad on his feet. A lot of people have this image in their mind of Gerald Meerschaert because of, the highlight of him that's been passed around the most, which is that quick finish by Hamzat of Gerald Meerschaert. That was really Hamzat's coming out party. But this is a tough fight to pick just because, both men are adept at mixed martial arts. And, I think ultimately when it comes down to it, though, Bruno Silva has the potential to eke out a decision victory, I think, over Meerschaert. I mean, Meerschaert, his grappling is great jiu-jitsu player. It's definitely a tough one. I don't think Bruno Silva is going to try and go to the ground with Meerschaert like he tried to with Pereira. Because that would be really dumb. But I do think he's better on his feet than Meerschaert. Meerschaert's going to be trying to take it to the ground, and I think Bruno Silva is just defensive enough against submissions to, avoid the types of positions that Meerschaert's going to try and put him in. So I'm going to go with Bruno Silva in this one. I think he's going to do more damage on the feet and avoid going to the ground with Gerald Meerschaert as much as possible. Because even if Meerschaert does take him to the ground, there is still a high chance that he controls Bruno Silva for, close to 15 minutes and wins it just by decision time alone, control time alone. So I'm going to lean towards Bruno Silva. I think he's pretty intelligent. Meerschaert's good, but I don't think that Bruno Silva is going to let him do the things that he wants to do. And Bruno Silva is going to be in control of this fight when it comes to the pace and to what level the fight takes place on. What do you think of this one, Tom?
Yeah, I think this is a lot closer than what the people on Tapology would have you believe. I think something like 85% of the votes on Tapology, close to 700 votes, are on Bruno Silva. Most of those by knockout. Here's the deal. I don't think Bruno Silva is very good on the ground. And I don't think you'd fight or kind of get a lot of pushback if you said that amongst the knowledgeable crowd. He can put away kind of lower level competition, but I don't think when it gets to people, even on GM3's level, that he's going to have as much success as he has against the lower caliber opponents. Bruno Silva, the way that he wins fights is a lot of times that he's capitalizing on his opponent's mistakes, something that I'm not going to think GM3 is going to do a ton of at this point. He kind of got ragdolled by Sanchez in his fight with him. I just don't think Bruno Silva, and I've watched, a bunch of his fights going back, a couple years now. I just think that a weakness for him is really on the ground. Against lower level guys, like I said, he can defend himself well, but GM3, especially when it comes to the ground, I don't think is a lower level guy. So I think that's going to be an opportunity for him there. But I will say Bruno Silva does have a good chin, and he does have really good cardio, but he doesn't have the best striking IQ. He leaves himself open and gets hit when he's on the feet. GM3, I think GM3's striking is getting better, but by far his bread and butter is going to be the ground game. He's a good jiu-jitsu player. He's another one kind of similar to Paul Craig, where he will pull guard if he has to in order to get on the ground. He lost to a few guys lately, but a lot of them are top-tier guys. You look, Jack Hermanson, Kevin Holland. You look at a couple other guys that he's fought, Kamzat, right? You're looking, at the top-level guys, and he's fought and beaten other, good-level guys, Ian Heinisch and Eric Anders. I think those are actually both losses too. But again, he's not losing to just any guys. He's losing to the guys who are in the upper echelon, top 10, top 5 of the division here. So GM3, he specializes on the ground. I think he's very good at submissions. He doesn't have the worst stand-up. He's got decent kicks, but he uses it to get his way to the ground. He's a very high risk-reward fighter. He's kind of in that finish or be finished state. He's shown the ability to fight well and submit off of his back. And he can also land some short shots on the feet. I think basically he's going to use that. He's going to use his kicks. He's going to try and get in close with Bruno Silva. He's going to take it to the ground. And if he can get it to the ground, this fight steers a lot more into GM3's, wheelhouse. He can be tired on the ground and still throw up submissions and find ways to win, especially against a guy who's not used to being there on the ground. looking at Tapology, I want to know if they're going to give me the odds for. Excuse me. If they're going to give me the odds for this fight. GM3 is a plus 220 underdog. Being that Silva has that weakness on the ground, I kind of want to lay a little bit on GM3. I don't think he's that bad on the feet. I think he's got good fighting IQ. And then, you kind of look back at his losses. Yeah, he lost to Krzysztof Jotko in a unanimous decision, but Krzysztof Jotko is another guy who wants to stand and bang with you on the feet. I think, the submission win, able to get it to the ground against Dustin Stoltzfus in the second round. Makhmud Muradov, another rear naked submission. And against Fabianski, another power guillotine submission. His last loss before that was Hamzat Chimaev. I just think GM3 has fought a decent level of competition, better than Bruno Silva. I think Bruno Silva's fighting guys like the Beverly Hills Ninja and getting wins over them, those aren't things to be particularly proud of. So I'm going with GM3. It's a contrarian pick, but it's where I stand right now.
Yeah, no, fair enough. We both made very different arguments, but we'll see how this one pans out on Saturday. So now we've got David